morning, everyone. Thank you for joining another session from the Insights webinar, from where we discuss different topics about data and different also tools that we can help us to make our life much easier. My name is Ramon from Excel in BI, and I designed this company to help people and businesses to do more with their data. I will keep this presentation initially as I will present some slides and also will show you short practice. But once I finish, I will open you the mics if you have any question. Thank you for joining, and I hope that you enjoy it. And also, if you have a question in the interim and you don't want to forget it, just put it here in the chat, and that way we'll be reviewing it at the end of the presentation. The presentation should go for roughly 20 minutes, so it's quite brief and practical as well. So be with me, and I will be trying to explain each step the best that I can. Okay? Thank you very much for joining. I will be sharing you now my screen, and that way you will be able to see the screen. Sorry, the presentation. Okay, just click present, and I will share you my screen. Okay, now you should be able to see my screen. As I just mentioned, my name is Ramon. I host these events, and it happens monthly. There are times that I also do it fortnightly, but it will depend on the schedule. So here you can see more future events if you're interested to attend. So feel free to connect there. And also, once you join our mailing list, you will be receiving the updates, and together with the material that we review today, I will be trying to share with you on Monday the templates that we'll be using today, and also any kind of elements that I will be displaying here. So it will be free for you to just review when you have some time. Okay, the two topics that I decided to present today, and also this is something that I've been asking the last few weeks, so I decided probably it'd be good to prepare this video to present you what this means and how to work. If you haven't worked before in Power BI, it's okay. This presentation itself, it will present two topics from Power BI. The first one will be RLS, and the second one is variables. As I just mentioned, if you haven't worked in Power BI, it's fine. At least you will get an idea when you jump into work in Power BI, okay? The first topic will be RLS, okay? RLS stands for Row Level Security in Power BI, which is a tool that we use and is well known from Microsoft, that they create dashboards from different people in our organizations. RLS allow us to differentiate the views for different teams. So instead of creating like 3 or 6 dashboards, RLS will allow us to separate certain data for certain people or certain department or certain region based on different kind of roles. So for example, if you have the sales for the North region and the South region, you will be able to differentiate that the people from North, they should be able only to see the opportunities from North and not for South, and the other way around as well. However, their manager, it should be able to see everything. So RLS is a great tool for you to start to slice the dashboard and protect the data. So if you haven't been needed to split the dashboard before, this will be a great tool. It doesn't work the same as the filters, because the filters allows everyone to filter in everything, but this one, it will limit depending on the user that you have. So you can create multiple roles, and I will show you in a bit how you can do it. And also, because of security compliances, sometimes there are certain sensitive data that shouldn't be displayed for everyone in the business. So it's important for you to start to limit the data when it's required. So not just for the matter of that, if you have this role, you should be able to see this on that. It's basically managed by sensitive data. It's driven by sensitive data. So if that is your goal and you would like to split the data, RLS, it will be your option in Power BI. Other tools like Google Looker and Tableau, they have their own ways to do it, but this is something that we won't be reviewing today. And the other piece that I would like to show you today is the variables in Power Query, because there are also different type of variables that you can use in DAX in Power BI. But at this opportunity, I will be only showing you the variables in Power Query, which allow us to use like when we create, for example, a template, or we create a Power BI file, and we would like to refer to different databases depending from where we move into place to place, this could be a really nice opportunity for you to start to use those variables. And not only of that, for example, you can start to also limit the data for certain information, and I will show you how you can manage those variables in the web and also in Power BI Desktop. I've been using a lot and help us to maintain the Power BI's much easily, and also it create simplification and standardize the procedures that you use for Power BI. The things that I'm trying to show you most of the time in those webinars are good practices, and this is by the book sometimes according to Microsoft, but also there are things that I have seen that have been working really well for me in practice, and this is what I would like to share with you. So before that we jump into practical experience, if you would like to see some more information and insights, you can go to my website, which is excellandbi.com, and there you will find courses, webinars, podcasts. There are YouTube videos. Also, there are a lot of blog articles that probably could be interesting for you. And if you're interested to keep learning more, I also have some courses there. And if you are working as a data specialist that would like to create more impact in business, those are kind of the courses are designed for. So feel free to jump into it, and you will have access to many free articles if you're interested. So now let's jump into the practical experience. So I will stop to sharing this screen, and now I will be jumping to another one. I hope everything goes clear so far, and I will be jumping into the screen. All right, because I'm using Mac, I connect remotely to my remote server, and that way I can use Power BI. Unfortunately, Power BI only does work in Windows computers, doesn't work in Mac. So having a remote desktop is my workaround to make it work for me. All right, it's loading up. Sometimes it has certain delays, but it should be fine now. Okay, it's right now. I will show you my screen again, and we go there, and you should be able to see it now. All right, hope you can see it. Okay, the first thing that we'll be reviewing is the row level security. As I explained you, it helps us to slice information from certain people in our organizations. Okay, the first thing that I will do, don't worry if you missed this, I will just click none. Okay, there is a place here in Power BI from where we can go to manage roles and view as. Okay, this is underneath of modeling tab. Okay, once you understand your data and you understand for which kind of things you would like to split the data, that will be the column key that you will need to understand, and also filtering out the data and the rows. So I have here two tables from a database which is running locally on my computer, and one of them is called human resources. In the human resources table, I have a column called, this is what I choose. You can use, for example, I would like to make all the people from Washington be able to see the data from Washington, okay, and not the rest. Or for example, you can start to do more specific rules, like if the sales are above of 50,000, only these people should be able to see the data, and so many other rules. But in this specifically, I will filter by the role, because you can also could filter by the country, by the province. You can filter for any of those rows, but I would like to group of course, because I don't want to group one by one. And the place, okay, this is the kind of column that I would like to use for role. If I click here I will see all the roles that are available for me to choose. For example, I would like to create a role that it will be only showing accountant job titles and accounts. So only those people, they will be able to see this information. Okay, so let me show you. So I choose this column. This will be the column that I will be filtering. And then I go here. I create this simple view that the only thing shows you is the people who work in each department. Okay. But depending on the company, this could be sensitive or not. Of course, if you work in security in the army, probably this could be sensitive, but most of the company doesn't have this information limit. But let's use it just for this example. For example, here we have a table from we have the count that we have for each city, and here we have a graph that's showing really bad how many people work in each city. The thing that I will do it to make it prettier, because it's showing by millions and I don't need that. So this is not related that we are discussing today, but it's just for meta to look it better. So yeah, here it's showing as a millions. I will just set it up to auto and close this up, and it should come, but it's still not coming. I will just create a new one there, and I will drag and drop the thing that I will do now. I will just recreate this one, and I will put the country here. I will put the country here, and here I will be putting I will count the distinct email addresses. Okay, so in that way it will give me a picture of how many people work in each country. Okay, so this is just an example to give you some visualization of what we are doing. So don't worry what I just did. I just did it for the meta to see this more graphically. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is to go into here to manage roles, and we would like to I just create a role called accountants. And the thing that I have done, I used the human resource. I went to the human resource table and I say like, I would like to display only the information that is the job titles that contain the word account. So it can be either accountant, accounts payable, account receivable. So anyone who has the word account in their job title, they should be able to see it through this role. Okay, but let me do another one from scratch. I would like to create another role called, full access, which will have access to everything. So in this one, I won't make any filter, but I will create another access called I will call it limit access. And within this, I will have only the information. I will restrict the people who work in accounting. So the thing how I can do it, I just go here, new rule. You see, I click this role, I click this table, and now here I can find the job title column. Right? I just go here. Just 1 second. Yeah, and here go to job title and go equals to accountant. And actually I would like to restrict the information from the accountant. So I will say does not equal to accountant. So I will say this, and here this is the simple way that you can add filtering, and also you can add more rules here, but otherwise you can switch it to DAX. So if you're familiar with DAX, you could do this like with a DAX rule. Here is the same expression, just not equal, and then to accountant. But here you could also start to put more variables here. But the thing that I would like to restrict the people who has general access or limit access, don't be able to see the people who work in accounting. Okay, so I will save that, and it saved successfully. I will close this, and now I will put view as. With the view as, it will help me to emulate how those people will be seen, and the way how you can control this is through having access into the Power. When you publish this Power BI, from there on the website you will be able to control these views. I will show you this in a moment. So I click here in accountants. So those are the people who should have access to people who work in accounting. So I just click that, So as you can see, automatically it filter out and be able to show me all the people who in the job roles, they contain the word accountant. So I limit the information. But as I show you now as a full access, this role, it should allow you to see everything. Okay, you see? And now if I select for limit access, it should remove, sorry, click the wrong button. I should go here to view as, and then select limit access. This limit access role, it will restrict me to see who works in accountant as an accountant. There you go. It's keep maintaining the other one they say accounts, but the role the people who has the accountant role job title, they will be limited here. As I just mentioned, you can do the same for countries, region, or depending on the kind of distinction that you would like to do in your visualization. This will allow you to don't create multiple dashboards, and it will make your life much easier if you're looking for restrict your information. And in the way how you can see it on the web, you just go here, file. I will save it and publish it into my workspace. As you know, if you are familiar with it, of course, Power BI uses workspaces to publish your Power BI on the web securely. So now I will just put in my personal workspace. It should be taking a couple of seconds. And error. The reason why I have an error is because in this sample account, I don't have access to the web environment from my premise. But the way how you can do it, you just go to security. Let me see if I can open it from here, Power BI. Because in the environment that I'm using, as I just mentioned, I don't have access to Power BI probably, because I'm using my sandbox to do this exercise. Let me go to excelinbi.com. That is why everyone limits to do practical experience in live webinars, because those kind of things can happen. But I won't be stopping you there. So I just want to be familiar with this concept. Yep. So I won't be worried much about how to publish it into the workspace. And the thing that I want for you to be clear is, like, if you need to segment customers, this is a great way to do it. If you want to segment department, this is a great way to do it. And just remember the name, which is RLS, which is row level security. Next time that someone asks you that they would like to split the dashboard in multiple parts, RLS could be your way to go. Okay. So thank you for that part. And now I will be jumping into the variables from Power BI. To be able to, in Power Query specifically, to be able to see the variables, we need to go to Power Query, just go to Transform Data. And so the variables work like this. We have this information, for example, we have this server name and this database name. But I could put, because for example, if I add 50 different tables, and by any reason you jump to a new server, you will need to update those variables in those 50 tables. Instead of with a variable, you will need to just to change it into one place. So we just go here into a new parameter, and here will be called it, for example, SQL database, and this will be our parameter. Okay. Database. And the description, it will be, you can put anything that you are pleasing to put. SQL server address. So if this address change in the time, you just can change it here. And then suggest values, any value, current value. Here I should put in the new value that I will be adding, but I will leave it in blank for now. and it's complaining because I should put something. Let me copy this, what I put here. That way it doesn't get deleted. So we'll just go click here. So if I go here to the first step, this is my SQL server. Okay, I will do a right click and copy this value. Okay, and now I can just go here again and click new parameter, and I will call it SQL server address. Okay, and here I will be pasting the current value. Paste. I will remove this quotation mark, it's not needed, and I will save it here. Okay, as you can see, when we create parameters, it will come in a different symbol, and also you could group. For example, if you want to create more parameters in the future, you just can call a group called parameters or variables. Parameters. Okay, I will save it. Okay. And the thing that I will do, I will just drop it here. In that way, I can organize my Power Query much easily. You see, here I have the value, and here on the tables, instead of to refer now to the source, okay, here, I could just change this into SQL server address. Okay, so I could just type SQL. Yeah, here allows me it recall it. You see, it automatically detect the name, and I will click this, and here I will do the same. Ideally, the parameters you should put in without a space. You can put it with underscore, but it will work just now for this example, which is fine. Okay. I will delete this. I need to keep the parentheses, and I will call the parameter called SQL server address, which is here, this one. Okay, as you can see there, I just create a parameter, but if for any reason I get migrated my data to a new server, I could just come here and change this value, and I will replicate the value for the 20 or 50 tables that you will have there. That's the reason why we use parameters a lot, and also it helps you to create certain variables. For example, if you have a customer name or, for example, a company name, and you have multiple databases, one for each customer, however, all of them, they share the same data schema, you could use this functionality for the other companies. So you have one template, and then you just change the database for each of them. This is what I want to show you today, those two elements that for me has been helping me a lot, which is RLS and the parameters of variables, and it helps you to connect the databases much easier, and as well to split the data properly across multiple organizations. Thank you so much to have listened to this webinar. I hope that you enjoyed, and also you learned something new today. This is what I'm doing, those webinars. I just want to appreciate your time, and also extend you an invitation if you would like to attend any live event like those ones. Just go to excelmba.com/events, and from there you will be able to sign up to future events. There's always something coming up, so you are more than welcome to join us in any of those events. Thank you so much. See you next time. This is Ramon. See you around. Bye.